It's on July 12, 2025. A new chapter in global trade wars begins. At the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, world leaders gather as headlines flash, Lula versus Trump, tariff war ignites. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva is rallying BRICS nations to slap retaliatory tariffs on the U.S., after President Donald Trump threatened a 10% levy on BRICS countries and a staggering 50% tariff on Brazil alone. Is this a bold stand for sovereignty, or a risky move toward economic chaos? Welcome to Mwaki Insights, where we dissect the narratives shaping our world. I'm your host, and tonight we're diving into this escalating conflict, its origins, the stakes, the global reactions, and what it means for the future. By the end, you'll question whether this is a fight for fairness or a dangerous gamble. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our truth seekers. Let's unpack this tariff showdown together. The spark came on July 6, 2025, at the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro. As leaders from Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and new members like Indonesia and Ethiopia gathered to push for a multipolar world, President Trump fired a shot across the bow. Via Truth Social, Trump announced a 10% tariff on any country aligning with BRICS' so-called anti-American policies. The term was left vague and undefined. By July 9, Trump escalated, threatening a 50% tariff on all Brazilian imports, effective August 1. His reasons? A mix of trade complaints and personal loyalty. Trump claimed Brazil's trade policies create unsustainable deficits. Despite the U.S. enjoying a $7.4 billion trade surplus with Brazil in 2024. He also called the trial of his ally, former President Jair Bolsonaro, for allegedly attempting a coup in 2023, an international disgrace. Is this about economics or a political vendetta? Lula didn't flinch. At the BRICS summit he declared, "The world has changed, we don't want an emperor," slamming Trump's threats as reckless and irresponsible. He vowed that Brazil, a sovereign nation, would reciprocate with its own tariffs if the 50% levy goes through. This isn't just talk. Lula's rallying BRICS to stand together. Other BRICS leaders echoed his defiance. South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa said, "The powerful should not seek vengeance against those working for good in the world," while China called the tariffs coercive diplomacy. With BRICS representing over 40% of the world's population, this unified front signals a challenge to U.S. dominance. But can Lula turn words into action, or is this a risky bluff in a high-stakes game? The fallout was immediate. Brazil's currency plummeted, as Bloomberg reported, with markets rattled by the threat of 50% tariffs. The U.S., Brazil's second-largest trading partner after China, could see its $7.4 billion trade surplus in 2024 disrupted. Brazilian exports like coffee, orange juice, and Embraer aircraft faced reduced demand, while U.S. consumers could see higher prices. If Lula and BRICS follow through with retaliatory tariffs, we could see a full-blown trade war, with a projected 1% GDP loss for both sides, per PIIE's 2025 analysis. Historically, Trump's first-term trade wars with China raised costs globally. Now, with BRICS' expansion to include nations like Iran and Ethiopia, the stakes are higher. A united BRICS could embolden the global south, challenging Western dominance. But without coordinated action or clear economic wins, Lula's call might falter. Lula's call for BRICS to fight Trump's tariffs could redefine global trade, or spark economic chaos. Share this video to join the debate. If you found this deep dive gripping, like, share and subscribe to Mwaki Insights. Vote below. Should BRICS retaliate? Join the debate and share your view. Thanks for joining this quest for truth, and I'll see you in the next unraveling.